Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, good morning. CPI report came out. Inflation is dropping. You know who's happy? Fed Chair Powell. So, whatever he's been doing has been working. We had 6 consecutive months of declining inflation. Now we are at the same point as peak of 2021, November to be exact. So let's talk about what this means overall, how this is going to affect the next FOMC meeting, and what else is going on in the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So good morning, guys. Welcome. You can see Bitcoin is unsure right now. As soon as the report came out, it dipped down to below 18, then went back up to 18.3, 18.4. Now it's at 18.1 again. The stock market is kind of like that too. It was in the green, then red, then in the green, and then red. So now it's like people don't know how to take this data. Well, I'll tell you how to take the data. It's good data, right? But I think people are trying to overthink this. So what actually came out this morning? CPI report finally came out, and it shows that headline inflation went down to 6.5% from 7.1%. That's over a half percentage point drop month to month from November to December. This is measuring inflation in December. And core inflation went down to 5.7%. So both of these numbers are in line with expectations. It didn't go above expectations or below expectations, right at expectations. But overall, inflation is coming down. It's coming down. So take a look at this. All right, so let me remove my, where's my camera? All right, here we go. All right, so this is month to month inflation data going all the way to 2012, right? So before 2021, we were always consistently around 1 to 2%, maybe a little bit higher than 2, right? But you could see since 2021, we went up from 1.4 at the beginning of the year all the way to 7, and then we went in 2022, 7.5 all the way up. We peaked around 9.1, but now we had six consecutive months of declining inflation. So 9.1, 8.5, 8.3, 8.2, 7.7, 7.1, now 6.5, right? So that's the lowest inflation since November of 2021 or October 2021. So we're definitely going in the right direction. This is good. This is good news, right? So I'm not quite sure why Wall Street is still taking this as bad, because Powell is smiling right now, right? He has to be, because he's been taking so much heat about what he's been doing with the aggressive rate hikes, been questioned by millions and millions of people worldwide, or you could say billions, because it affects not only the U.S. economy, but everywhere else, right? But it's clearly working. It's clearly working. We are seeing inflation go down. Now, we're not back to 2%, which is what he wants eventually, 2 to 3%. But that might never happen again because of all the printing that happened in 2020, 2021, and some in 2022. Right? When you print 40% more dollars and put into circulation, well, you can't claw that back, right? So our inflation may never go back down to 2%. It could be at 3 or 4%, right? There's still more work to be done, but that Powell, he must be smiling. And during the next FOMC meeting, right, it's going to put a lot of pressure on him to continue to be hawkish, because he has said time and time again that, we got to be cautious, right? We want to make sure that inflation is actually going down, right? We don't want to stop too quickly. We don't want to pivot too quickly. But then again, we don't want to overreach. But with 6 consecutive down months, you can't say it's a coincidence anymore. You can't say it's just due to energy price getting better or supply chain getting better, although both of those things do help. But overall, we are seeing numbers get worse, right? Consumer confidence getting a little bit worse. Housing getting a little bit worse. Retail getting a little bit worse. We're seeing a lot more layoffs, unfortunately, but these are things that are showing what he's doing is, well, he's doing is working, and what he's doing, has a plan, I guess, right? I think a lot of people thought that he didn't know what the hell he was doing, but we'll see. We'll see. The next FOMC meeting comes out in a couple weeks, the 1st and 2nd of February. So with this next FOMC meeting, I'm expecting him to be more dovish. He was pretty dovish last one already. I think he's going to be more dovish. Now, he did say he wanted to target 5%, right, in terms of the Fed fund rate. And we're about 4.25%, which means there's 0.75% left. So eventually, he's going to have to go down to 0.24. So probably the next two. It was originally anticipated 50 basis points for February, and then the one in, I think, March will be 25 basis points. But who knows? Maybe he changes that. Maybe he just go do a 25 basis point in February and say that may be enough. We don't need another one, right? Who knows what he's going to do or say, or what the other board of governors are going to say. It'll be interesting. But I do think this is definitely showing we are going in the right direction. I did notice that DXY also went down. We're down to 102, which is fantastic. We were hovering at 103, 104. Now we're down to 102. So the further that DXY goes down, the better it is for everything else, like crypto and equities and everything else. There you go. All right. What else is going on today? Well, Peter Schiff still tweeting about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trading above 18K. Its highest level in 3 weeks. Excellent opportunity for holders to sell ahead of the December CPI. Gold is only up $10, trading at 8-month high, while Bitcoin has already broken down. Gold has broken out. Time to drop Bitcoin. See, clearly nitpicking small pieces of data. Peter is better than this, but of course, he has to play this role of being a Bitcoin hater. Okay, gold is up 8-month high, but down over the last 12 years. Okay, down the last 10 years. Down, I don't know, in any significant time frame, gold is down except the last 8 months, while Bitcoin is up millions of percent over 12 years, right? So, Peter's going to do what he's going to do, and continue to be bearish on Bitcoin because that's just his stick now, right? But you guys know. You guys know better. You guys know basically inverse Peter Schiff, inverse Jim Cramer, inverse Jamie Dimon, inverse whoever else there is that's a naysayer, right? It's not going to work. Bitcoin holders not going anywhere, no matter what anyone says, right? And we got a little taste. Yesterday. We saw the entire market go up. Shorters getting wrecked, right? So that's a little taste of what's to come. A little taste of winning and rubbing it in the bear's eyes, right? And we'll see more of that as we trend higher. But shorters got liquidated by over 200 million yesterday. I covered that last night. There's a lot of shorters that are still in disbelief, right? Still trying to short the market, and it's not going to end well for them. They had their run. They definitely had their run in 2022. Got to give them that. But Bitcoin's not going to stay down and out forever. It's itching to climb back up, and I think we already started. What else is there? SBF. Again, still trying to claim that it wasn't his fault. He didn't steal anything. It's all Binance's fault. Again, trying to point the finger at Binance. At this point, it just looks so desperate, and it also looks like he may be a puppet for someone else that's just trying to take Binance down. I don't even get the point of trying to point fingers. He's claiming that Binance took 8 months to bring him down, right? Like, again, taking no accountability for what has happened. But yesterday we got some good news from FTX saying that they reclaimed $5 billion of liquid assets, and plus they plan on selling $5 billion of assets away which would plug, a $9 to $10 billion hole, if that's the hole. Now, if the hole turns out to be 20 or 30 billion, well, then there's no plugging that. But maybe they could actually become solvent and give everyone their money back. But, SBF is still trying to do damage control at this point. And shifting blame, it's just a little too late for that. But, he has 9 months to do what he needs to do before the trial starts. As for other crypto exchanges, crypto.com or blockchain.com, I'm sorry, I was thinking crypto.com. Blockchain.com lays off 28% of their workforce, right? A lot of crypto companies still laying off. I mean, they're relatively small, but like someone like Coinbase also, slash 20% of their workforce. This is on top of an 18% slash, right? So there's still a lot of preparation, right? A lot of companies are still thinking that 2023 could be harsh. Not just crypto companies. Banks we're starting to see, other tech companies we're seeing, right? There's still a lot of layoffs, unfortunately. And this is unfortunate side effect of what's been happening, right? And unfortunately, Powell does want to see more layoffs, wants to see unemployment go up. That's the one thing I disagree with, right, with his plan, because he has said that there's a three-phase kind of thing. No, three-pronged approach to lower inflation. Seeing price of goods and services go down, yes. Seeing demand on housing go down, yes. But he also wants to see the workforce cool off, the jobs come down. And unfortunately, because of it, as a side effect, people getting laid off and unemployment go up. It is happening. Not to say that's a good thing, but it is happening, and part of his plan, and could be the reason why inflation is starting to come down. So we'll see. But someone like Binance, they're not firing anyone. They're actually, in fact, they're hiring. So they're like the only crypto exchange that's not affected by what's going on. So good for them. They also got the thumbs up to allow Swedish people to jump on the platform and trade. So that's also a good thing. You have Nexo, another lending company, being raided by the police because the authorities think that they're involved with money laundering and violating global financial sanctions against Russia. Hopefully, neither one of those things are true. They are the only lending company basically left. Okay, and I did say, I'm not quite sure if they're going to survive or not. They seemed like they were doing okay. They had a couple of close calls. They had like over 100 million on FTX that they withdrew just like a day before they closed doors down. But people are noticing they are moving, money from other exchanges. For example, 4.4 million from Kraken. So I don't know what that's about, if there's a lot of people withdrawing right now or they're trying to safeguard themselves. Who knows? So be careful with Nexo at this point. And lastly, as for Bitcoin, okay, you can't deny what's coming. You look at this, someone broke it down, right? I know the screen on the right is cut off a little bit, but it shows 2015 to 2017, bull market lasted 1,064 days. Then the bear market from 2017 to 2018 lasted about 364 days, okay? And then you look at 2018 to 2021, bull market lasted exactly 1,064 days. And 2021, from November 2021 to current now, to market low, 364 days. So identical. And if we continue to follow that pattern, that means we're on our way up and we have over 1,000 days left of ups. Looking forward to that. All right. That's what I want to cover. It looks like Wall Street taking today's CPI report negatively, but that could flip. We will see. As for Bitcoin, holding at 18,040, right? Let's see if Bitcoin continue its trend today. It has been making really good progress over the last few days. I'm trying to zoom out here, right? So you can see making good progress. We still have that resistance right around this 18.4 mark. If we shatter that, we're good to go. Good to go back to 20,000, right? So we need to see that local top shattered. And let's see if that happens this week. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let me scroll up here. Let's see if I miss anything. Egg prices have skyrocketed. I don't have a breakdown. I don't have a breakdown of the food section, but I'm curious to see if the food was affected by higher egg prices. Right? So had that been not the case, like we didn't have this issue with shortage with eggs, maybe the food section goes down further and we would have beat the headline inflation. We would have gone even lower for this last reading. Maybe, but that's only temporary, right? Eventually they'll figure out how to get more eggs. All right, still. Biden is speaking at 10 a.m. Is that really true? I think I heard something about that. Biden is supposed to be speaking about inflation? What is this about? JP Morgan shutters website it paid $175 million for. Which website is this? After alleging the company's founder created nearly 4 million fake customer accounts. JP Morgan said it learned the truth about Frank after sending out marketing emails to a batch of 400,000 customers. About 70% of the emails bounced back. The bank sent a lawsuit filed last month. Is there a bank called Frank or something? Oh, website for college financial aid. Okay, so basically all the customers, all the email data was faked, and they finally found that out after paying $175 million for it. Why wouldn't they do due diligence beforehand, like check some of the accounts or check some of the emails prior paying nearly $200 million for it? Anyways, interesting. Food was 10.4%. I should have. I'll probably cover it tonight. I'll find the breakdown of all the categories. Yeah, I'm wondering if the price of eggs, which affects food, had anything to do with this reading. I don't know when the shortage started happening, when this bird flu actually started happening. So I don't know if it actually affected December's numbers that much. If it didn't, it could affect January numbers. Lazaro, I don't think anyone was expecting 6.1. Everyone is expecting 6.5. So I don't know where you got that 6.1 from. No, the expectation was 6.5. It was always 6.5. I think the expectation for many was we're going to blow past that and be even more under, like 6.4, 6.3, which I said I thought would happen. But I didn't take into account the price of eggs, which I think is a category broken down into food category. So that could have drove things up just by 0.1%, right? But if we came in lower at 6.4, 6.3, that would have been phenomenal. But again, this is measuring December. We're halfway through January already, right? So in another month, in February, we're going to get a CPI reading on January, and that could show us going below 6.6%. We could be in 5.9% or 5.8%, right? And that would be phenomenal. Then we would be back to, mid 2021 levels. What do you think about DOT being labeled a software non-security by the SEC? I'm not sure that's actually true. I didn't see that. I think I briefly heard something about that, but I'm not sure that's actually true. A lot of egg jokes in the live chat. I know a lot of you guys are fascinated. Eggs are important. Very, very important. I love eggs. I don't know how many of you guys eat eggs on a daily basis, but a lot of people eat a lot of eggs every day. Right now, it's hard to get them. That's for sure. And if you can, the price for a dozen have gone up like triple. Will people stuck in Gemini Earn ever get anything back? Well, I just covered that yesterday or the day before yesterday. I mean, there's about $900 million of assets stuck on Gemini Earn. That's why Cameron Winklevoss has been so vocal doing these open letters against DCG and Barry. And they, so far their response has been pretty bad, I would say. I don't know. DCG is trying to figure this out. They have assets to sell, but right now they probably don't want to sell any assets because they're going to get pennies on the dollar. So we'll see. We'll see. I think, eventually, yes, you will get some back. Hopefully they find funding. If they find funding, then they don't have to go into bankruptcy or do anything, and they'll just be able to open up withdrawals, give people money back. But I don't know who would give them funding at this point. Same with animal feed. Very expensive to raise livestock. Interesting. Are you a farmer? Rollcore? Seem to know a lot about farming. Jumpin' Spider on Twitch. Hello and welcome. I DCA every 3 to 5 days. Is there an added benefit to DCA more or less often? I mean, it's whatever you could afford. Every 3 to 5 days, hey, if you bought less coffee for that week, you ate out less, even one time, whatever. If you wanted to put that money into Bitcoin or whatever, Ethereum, you want DCA, fine. That's a fine strategy, right? But I think for most, they would prefer to set a schedule, maybe once a week or maybe once every paycheck, something like that. But there's no right or wrong. It's up to you. George watches Yellowstone. He knows. I've heard good things about that show, but I actually don't watch it. So I don't know. I don't know what it's about. Let's see. DXY. DXY is still a little bit lower. I don't know why MarketWatch only shows Ferrari ads everywhere. Every time I go to MarketWatch, it's just showing Ferrari ads. Mike George, I have no thoughts on Alchemy Pay. Have not paid attention to them recently. Can we stop caring about Peter Schiff? He's old dinosaur, irrelevant to crypto space. You know, but he has the name recognition, right? It's just like Jim Cramer. People love to bash them, and they have really thick skin, so they just continue to say and do all the wrong things, but they don't care. You know, they get the attention. You know, the motto, there's no bad attention, whatever that motto is, right? They follow that. So that's why, you know, it's nice to talk about them. I actually heard a really funny joke, but I can't say it because people get mad at it. Cool story, huh? It's actually one of the funniest jokes I ever heard, but it's too controversial, so I can't share it. I'll come up with a joke for eggs. Major biotech, minor chemistry. Ooh, are you in the biotech sector? Long Toronto and short Chicago. Oh. It's a PG-13 joke. Please advise us on Epic Protocol, AI bots and data. I'll have to look into it. I've never heard of Epic Protocol, so that must be new. Never heard of that one. Patrick, that's like a G-rated. That's like a G-rated joke. Um, man. Oh, okay. Coming back. Like I said, I think there's a good chance the market comes back today. I think Wall Street is overreacting or doing a giant fake out. Today's inflation number was good. I mean, it is good. Whatever inflation is, 6.5% headline, 5.7 core. These are good numbers. These are good numbers. There's no reason for the market to be sour. Fed Powell is going to be forced to be more dovish this next meeting in a couple weeks. There's no way he can continue to be hawkish. Okay? Everything he wants is happening. We have prices and for goods and services going down, mortgages going down, housing going down, and unfortunately he wants to see unemployment go up, wages come down, job openings comes down. That's happening. Those are bad things. I disagree with those things, but he wants those to happen. It's happening. So he's getting everything he wants. That's why I labeled he is happy. He's getting everything he wants. And inflation is back down to October, November of 2021 levels, right? When we saw a peak for prices. So, I mean, this is all good things. I think it's a good thing. But, you know, today's Thursday, right? We still have the rest of today, tomorrow, for the market to digest that data. But as for Bitcoin and crypto, had a good pump recently. I think we're going to continue that. And if we could break through the 18.4 mark, you know, if we could break through this local resistance right here, right, I might as well just draw a line. You know, we're going to be back to $20 in no time. Immutable X wasn't big years ago, so they only started getting more traction like last year. So that's why Immutable X to me, Dave, is, you know, another layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. And even though they and Arbitrum, Optimism, you know, there's so many out there that's making good traction, but I just feel like layer 2's scaling for Ethereum is just, you know, they're kind of like, I hate to say it, like a dime a dozen these days. There's too many. Not to say they can't do well. Immutable X got some love from the GameStop NFT store thing, but, you know, I'm just more neutral on them at this point. Please bring back interviews of project leaders. I don't know. I haven't done any interviews for a long time. Maybe. Bob the Lego nerd, I appreciate that. You know what? Since you're a Lego guy, I came across this guy, this British guy. Shoot, his channel name didn't have Lego in it, but he creates the best Lego videos I've ever seen. He must spend like literally like 2 weeks to edit them. They are that good. I just came across that guy recently. Man, his Lego like videos are so good. You should check it out if I remember it. Sorry, I wish I remember the name. It's like, it's something cheeky, like not so something. I forgot the name, but it's damn good. Mega Millions 1.35 billion. I talked about yesterday. I bought $20 worth last time when it was 1.1. I'll probably buy another $20. You know what would be a cool experiment is to double the amount of tickets you buy every time you lose, and you just keep doubling. No, I'm just kidding. That would be the worst thing you could do, because you just end up doubling to a point where you just lose all your money and you'll never win. So don't do that. But that's the strategy for casinos. Like if you're playing black or red, you just keep doubling every time you lose until you win it back. Yeah, I've watched Lego Masters. I do like it. This last season, the two that should not have won because they just like killed it with the last two projects. Especially that bookshelf they built, the last one. As soon as they were building it, I said, I was watching with my kids, I'm like, they won. It's so much more creative than the other two, you know, teams. I knew they were going to win, but they should have never got there. This other team that flaked out 2 challenges ago, they should have been there. All right. I think I'll let you guys go. There's not much else. 141 people on Rumble watching. Welcome, guys. I know a lot of you guys want to know. Hey, see? We're turning in green again. You know, I think this morning's going to be one gigantic fake out. Again, I covered it in case you guys are tuning in late. CPI report shows inflation going down. 6 consecutive months of down. We're now back to 2021 levels. Powell has to be happy as we head into the next FOMC meeting. You know, it's only going to be good. And Bitcoin and crypto will continue forward, I believe. We got to break through 18.3, but I think good things are coming. All right, I'm going to tell you guys that joke that I said I wasn't going to tell, but I'm going to revise a little bit so I don't offend the wrong people. Because originally it was towards another group of people. So you have three guys that walk into a bar. You have a Brit, you have someone from France, and we'll just say an Asian. Okay, so you got 3 people that walks in a bar. They get captured, and then they're asked, how do you want to die? You will die, but you have to tell us how you want to die, and we'll make it happen. So the Brit's like, okay, I want to be hung. So he gets hung, he dies. They ask the Frenchman, and he's like, oh, I'll be beheaded with a guillotine. And they do it. And then they ask the Asian, how do you want to die? And then he responds, of old age. Oh, God. That's funny. That's funny. Too bad there's no live audience right now, because that would be great. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? We'll see where the market is then. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.